Hello, everyone. How are you on this awesome Tuesday morning? This is Gwenda from H.E.A.L with Gwenda. So to everyone who's going to come in and join us on the YouTube channel, H.E.A.L with Gwenda, welcome. For everyone else that comes on in and sees what's going on in Soul and Beyond and H.E.A.L with Gwenda, thanks very much for being here. I'm super excited this morning because I'm going to be introducing you to a phenomenal artist. Her name is Rhiannon, and she's from the eastern seaboard of Australia. So we're on opposite sides of this grand continent, isn't it? And Rhiannon is an incredible artist. She's over in Queensland, and while I love my eastern seaboarders, I've got a little bit of a special spot for Queensland. It's a beautiful state. And Rhiannon's story about this amazing and very unique event that she's holding in November. We'll tell you more about the details shortly, but it's about resilience. How many of you have found times in your life where you just didn't have resilience to bounce back, to make your way through whatever it was that you were experiencing? And then the strength. Sometimes, as women, we don't find our strength to get out of a situation or move past a situation. And when we combine resilience and strength, we become a powerhouse of being able to emerge and find your wings of freedom, your expression of the beauty that you really are. So we're going to talk to Rhiannon today about everything that she's come through in her life and what's brought her to be the creator of an event that you will not have seen ever before, and it's called If Only She Spoke. It's going to be on in November, and it is with the greatest of joy that I bring Rhiannon in to say hi. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, and I think it is about midday for you in Queensland. Is that right?
Yeah, lunchtime over here now.
And it's sunny, the same as it is here. Beautiful day.
Such a beautiful day today. Oh my gosh, yes.
So, Rhiannon, this incredible event, this exhibition that you're bringing forward for everybody, it's about resilience and strength, right? As I'm going to say it, everyone, as a woman, because
yes,
we do encounter different things in our lives to our counterparts, the males, and the way that we transform or not, the way that we are able to move through those situations is very different to them. So I am going to be addressing our conversation around life as a woman, and this magnificent event that you've created really does hone in on, I love your words, Rhiannon, resilience and strength. So I'm going to hand it over to you to tell us about If Only She Spoke.
Oh, thank you so much. So this exhibition is going to be the biggest, most exciting thing that I've ever done. And in all honesty, in one way, I feel like I've been working towards this show what feels like my whole life. So it's called If She Spoke, Stories from Struggle to Strength, and it's the 15th and 16th of November at the Brisbane Showgrounds John Reid Pavilion. So this show, I honestly, I'm just so excited. It's come from me going through my own struggles for what felt like years and years and years. I very much struggled with my mental health and was just stuck for so long, especially after having kids. I was just so stuck. And then it got to the point where I had to do something. I had to make a change. And I did. And I'm feeling so much better now. And I feel unstoppable now that I've come through on the other side. And so now I just want to share other women's stories from struggle to strength. I just feel like there's there's so much good that can come out of this show. Yeah.
Yes, I think you're going to be healing and opening a lot of hearts, bringing a lot of calm to mind, and it's wonderful to be able to share just how you've gone from, well, as you say, struggle to strength. So you grew up in Ipswich with a single mum, is that correct?
Yeah. So we grew up in Ipswich. And yeah, it was hard, like being a single mum is is not for the faint-hearted. My mum did an incredible job. She had her own struggles, and she just always pulled through and was always there for us. And it would be the epitome of strength and resilience, and just making every situation work. My mum is incredible. Um, Yes, I grew up in Ipswich. I didn't come from a lot of money. We lived in a shed for a while, no power, no running water, um, all that sort of stuff. Very simple life. But to be honest, it was just so beautiful because it was
Yeah.
so simple. Like, it
Yeah.
really connects you with what's important in life, because it's not money. It's the time and the things you do and how you feel. So I feel like that was quite important for me. Um, yeah, finished high school, went to uni, and then volunteered in Kenya for 3 months over there. I
What
come
were you
back
doing there,
and
Rhiannon? What were you doing in Kenya?
so we were building a child rescue center and some houses, and helping sort of vamp up the local orphanage, and yeah, pretty much anywhere we could help in the local communities that we're in, we were helping. It was really lovely,
Oh,
very eye
wow,
opening.
that sounds amazing. How did you come to be involved in that?
Um, I was at uni at the Gold Coast, and I literally saw a flyer on the wall. Um, and I
Wow.
decided in that moment that I was doing it. I fundraised $1.50 and $2.50 chocolates. I door knocked every day after uni. I shoveled bags of horse poop and sold them out the front of my house. I got donations from local people in the community, and yeah, just made it happen.
Wow,
Um,
and the experience of being over there, so helping these kids, what did that leave you with? How'd that change your life?
it was there's so much going on over there, and I think the big thing that probably stuck out to me the most was the fact that there was so many beautiful people over there willing to help, who had nothing, and still
Yeah,
wanted to help other people around them.
yeah,
And then there was also, that's life, but there was also a lot of corruption and a lot of issues like that. So, like, even if people were receiving funding, or they had opportunities, a lot of the times, it doesn't mean that they will get
yeah,
the funding or the opportunities. So
yeah.
for me, it's always been that, there's always good and bad wherever you go.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, it was very
Yeah.
insightful. I went over there, I think I just turned 18 when I did that. So
Wow.
yes, very
Wow.
eye-opening. Amazing,
Well
amazing.
done. Well done. So being raised, as you say, by a single mother, it's certainly not a journey for the faint-hearted. I've been there, done that, and yeah, it's a tough gig, but it brings you a terrific amount of resilience, or it can bring
Mm,
you a lot of resilience. And one thing that you were mentioning to me is that when you were talking about the simplicity of your life, and it's actually a good thing, and
mm.
yet you always found and remember feeling as a child that you were on the outside of everyone, that you weren't good enough, and you were
Yeah,
very nervous. We wouldn't believe that today, Rhiannon, but you were very nervous and felt like you didn't fit in. What
yeah,
do you
definitely.
think now? What do you think that was about?
Um, in all honesty, like, because I think about it sometimes now, and the only thing that I can sort of come up with is that what I wanted out of life was just a bit to the left of what everyone else was sort of doing. Um,
Mhm.
What's always motivated me is my heart. So, yes, money is great. Yes, money makes the wheel turn. But, in the end of the day, you need to be happy in your heart, and that's got nothing to do with money. So for me, it's always been about finding projects or doing things, or helping people, things that are going to make my heart happy, because that in
Yeah.
turn makes me happy and makes me want to continue. And it might sound very simple, but yeah, I live with my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely beautiful. And then as you maneuvered through those years and wondering about not fitting in and feeling nervous, and then you went through the loss of your dad after his 7-year battle with cancer,
Yeah.
and that you really struggled with that. And
Yeah.
speaking about our heart, I think losing our dad, a parent, a child, even, the break in the heart is enormous, and it
Yeah.
is something that you can struggle to deal with. But you were just entering year 12 of school at that time, so it's a pretty tough
Yeah.
time to go through loss of a parent, and you're really beginning to forge your path as you're coming to the end of that part of the schooling. So you've had a lot go on in your young years of your life, and you've done phenomenally well, but you've only recently come out the other side of your own struggle. Would you like to tell
Yeah.
us just a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very much an open book. So my life felt like it was very much on track after I finished high school, and I, did my volunteering, and I was at uni, and then it's like my brain sort of hit a point, and at the time I didn't understand what was happening, but I just started struggling very much mentally. As I said earlier, like, I didn't come from a lot of money, and I being at uni, my rego came in, and I couldn't pay it, and I didn't want to ask my mum for help. So you just do what you can to make ends meet. So I actually started stripping when I was at uni. So you wouldn't know it now, but but yeah. So I end up getting so sad, very depressed, and very, yeah, just so depressed and lost at uni. And so at that point in my life, like, I'd gone from feeling very like on track, this is what I'm going to do, da, 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 and focused and goal orientated. And then I just hit this massive struggle. And for me, because I hadn't really experienced that before, I was like, well, if I'm feeling like this, it must be this reason, or it must be that reason. So anytime I would feel this, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not happy because of this. So I'd chop that out of my life. And so at that time, this is when it was the first time I started making decisions in my life to ease the turmoil and what was going on in my own head. Because I was very much struggling. I couldn't deal with it. So it was like, whatever I thought was affecting me, I would cut it out, because I just couldn't cope. And so for me at the time, that was uni. And yeah, I ended up going and stripping around Australia and New Zealand for like 3.5 years with a bunch of girls, on some
Wow.
wild times, fun times, wild times, interesting times. Um, yeah. And then after that, come back and did machine operating for a few years, and then got a partner, kids, and this is where the big turning point in my life is that throughout my younger years, anytime I would get this feeling of like immense sadness, and this, it was too much. It was so depressed, and I could not get out of it. I would cut whatever was out of my life, or I would do risky behavior because it would give me this high that would get me out of how I was feeling. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but
Yeah, yeah, it certainly does. Yep.
um, and then after I had kids, it's not as easy to go out partying or doing things and distracting yourself. So I had no choice but to sort of just sit in it. And it got to the point where I was struggling that much that I was starting to scare myself. I'd come home and sit and watch the cars on the highway, and just wanting out. Not the out that I wanted, but I just any out. So once I got to that point where I was scaring myself that much, I ended up going and getting help and whatnot. And so I was diagnosed with bipolar and CPTSD. So I receive medication now for bipolar. And since receiving medication for my bipolar, my entire world has just completely opened up and changed. And I can think again. And my life makes sense again. And I can see, looking back at my journey, you know, why I did things the way I did them, and I was just trying to cope without understanding what was going on in my own head. So when I was in that, many times in that, that struggle, I just felt so alone. I was like, no one understands, no one knows what I'm talking about. I just felt on the outside. So with to the show that I'm trying to achieve, and the big part is celebrating women's strength and resilience, but it's also about sharing stories of women that have got through their struggles. So if there's someone that's out there and they haven't got through it yet, they're still struggling, or I just don't want them to feel alone. And I just want them to know that, like, you can do this, and look at all these incredible women around you that have come through their struggle. And the other thing is, by talking about so many issues that, women face, that women go through, it allows us to start moving forward and normalizing these conversations. Maybe someone might get a bit of help a bit earlier, than what they could have.
Yeah, definitely. I think for a lot of mums these days, postnatal depression is a very big part of what's taking place for them. And as a former nurse, and also having had postnatal depression and situational depression myself, it's quite a passion of mine to speak about and to help people with. So not only do we have the kind of life issues that you were expressing about yourself, but we have so many different chapters in our life, so many different versions of ourselves, and we can get lost in among all of that and be consumed in among all of that. And then we have no idea who we are, why we're behaving the way we are, what's going on. That's a big part of my work. But for this exhibition, tell us a little bit more about what people can expect when they come along to the exhibition. Now, you've got a VIP day. Oh, yeah, going to be there for the VIP day. And then you've got a general admission day. But you tell us a little bit more, Rhiannon, about what people can expect, the venue, anything that's going to help them with their day, and also let them know why it's so important that they come along.
Yes. So it's going to be incredible. So the VIP is the early access, and this is on the 15th of November. And there's going to be a few incredible speakers there that day talking about their own journeys, and how they've got through their struggle to their strength. And I will also be doing a chat and talking about my story. There'll be drinks and canapes. And so when you walk into the exhibition, I cannot wait to see it. In all honesty, I can't wait to see it come together. So there is going to be 30 massive paintings up to 2.4 by 1.8 meters. And so the women that I'm painting are women that have sent in their stories. And so I've painted their portrait and I'm sharing their story next to their painting. So, it's going to be amazing. And then the other stories that are sent in is going to be a massive display of stories, because I can't paint everyone. I would love to be able to, but I want every single story to be there. So the VIP day is more about like the experience of like coming together and hearing other women talk, and just being able to talk with other women and open that conversation and have a bit more of a free-flowing event. And the general entry is where people can come in and obviously view the paintings, and it's more a go at your own pace situation. So every story that's sent into this show, and this is really important, this bit is every story that's being sent into the show will be at the exhibition. I want every single voice to be heard, because like even when I wrote my story, it took me a day to write it. I didn't think it would. I thought about it for a few weeks, but it did. It took me a whole day to write. And when I wrote it, and then I put it on my Facebook, and I just put it out there, and it was just so freeing and like quite therapeutic in a way too, because it was like, shame comes from the shadows, and we hide from things that people don't know. But if everyone knows everything, then what's there to hide from? And it was very, very freeing. And so I really hope that women that are sending in their stories, so I hope they get to just feel a little bit of that as well, because
Quite
even
often,
just
quite often we hide from ourselves. The shadow is
yes,
actually hiding from ourselves. So to write
yes,
about it, to speak about it, means we've got to be very brave with ourselves, and
yeah,
also to have that confidence that what we're going to say is not going to be judged and cause us to lose face, as they would say in some Asian cultures.
mm,
But it takes a lot, and one of the best ways to be able to face that shadow is to write about it. You don't
yeah,
necessarily have to share it if you're not ready, but to write about it is the beginning of opening the door to healing your heart, healing your
yeah,
own belief in yourself, building your courage, and developing resilience, really. So for the ladies that aren't ready, to take that step, your second day, the Sunday, the 16th of November, where they can just come in and wander around and embrace the stories and read through the stories and see the art as well. But being able to just do that in their own space, I think, is
yeah,
tremendously healing, Rhiannon. They can just quietly go about it. So you just never know how many hearts you're going to touch through people being able to come in and quietly read others' stories that will then give them new hope, give them a new kick in their heart of joy, feeling joy again. And as you said, not feeling alone, feeling that there are others who can understand them, or others that have at least walked a similar path. So it's simply incredible. I can't wait to get on that plane and fly over
oh, we're
there
gonna
to
stay
join you
out.
for the event. Now, it's at the Brisbane Showgrounds, is that correct?
Yes, the Brisbane Showgrounds, John Reed Pavilion,
John Reed Pavilion.
1,700 square meters, just nuts.
Woohoo!
So exciting.
And we have got links for the tickets, and I will both be putting the links out. You can find the information about the event on Rhiannon's page. You can also find it on the H.E.A.L with Gwenda page. So please do go and have a look and get your tickets and come along and join us for this phenomenal and very unique experience, one of tremendous courage, boldness, confidence, and stepping into a new awareness for yourself. And if you've got daughters, if you've got young daughters and you would just like them to know, if they're going through teenage years, not knowing how they fit in or don't fit in, bring them along. Bring them along and let them mingle among all the ladies and maybe read some of the stories, help them
Absolutely.
develop their resilience. What was that, Rhiannon?
Absolutely. And kids are free to come along as well.
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Rhiannon, as we close off, is there anything else that you would like to say and leave everyone with? The stage is...
Yeah. Oh, yes, please. There is definitely one thing. And that is this show. It doesn't matter if you're in Australia or if you're overseas or if you're coming to the show or if you're not, but if you would like to send in your story, you are more than welcome to. I would love for you to be a part of this show. And yeah, there as many stories as we can put over this place. We are doing it. Every single story is going to be there. So if you would like to send in your story, please do. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. More than happy to help. If you've got any doubts or anything, just send me a message because this show is literally about celebrating every woman's strength and resilience and coming together. So I would love for you to be a part of it. And yeah.
It's just a beautiful message, Rhiannon. And I think we'll come back and have another chat and see how things are going and just help people make up their mind to come along a little bit closer to the time. So everyone, it is November this year, 2025, 15th and 16th at the Brisbane Showgrounds. But please go along and read the event page. Reach out, and as Rhiannon said, if you have a story that you would like to share or you would like to open to your boldness, your resilience, your courage, and have that wonderful strength to keep moving forward, reach out to her, send her your story. So thank you all very much for watching the replay, for being here. We'll look forward to your comments. Rhiannon, thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Connect with you again. Bye for now, everyone.